Hey everybody, and welcome to another Wednesday evening reflection. Now today is January 13th. It may seem like any other ordinary day, but to me it holds some special meaning and value. It was on this day, exactly 1 year ago, that I started my first day as pastor of St. Andrew Presbyterian Church. I sat at this desk for the first time and was nervous and excited and worried, but yet so full of joy. My emotions were definitely all over the place. It was a special day, one that I definitely wouldn't call ordinary. Eventually, though, I settled into what an ordinary day or an ordinary week would look like in this new calling of mine. And then we know the rest of the story, that COVID hit and the ordinary became extraordinary, and not necessarily in a good way. So during this time, this extraordinary time, I've leaned on a familiar text, the well-known poem from Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verses 1 through 8, which I'll read to you now. Listen for what the word of the Lord has for us today. For everything there is a season, and a time for every matter under heaven. A time to be born, and a time to die. A time to plant, and a time to pluck up what is planted. A time to kill, and a time to heal. A time to break down, and a time to build up. A time to weep, and a time to laugh. A time to mourn, and a time to dance. A time to throw away stones, and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to seek, and a time to lose. A time to keep, and a time to throw away. A time to tear, and a time to sow. A time to keep silence, and a time to speak. A time to love, and a time to hate. A time for war, and a time for peace. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Now, while this text unfortunately has been used as an explainer for certain events in world history or used as justification for war and violence, I think it more importantly speaks to us about how we define the ordinary. Every bit of the text that I just read is some sort of mix of both ordinary and extraordinary. And so are our lives. That's why I think it's important to learn to appreciate the ordinary amidst the extraordinary in our lives. I'd like to share with you a poem that I found by a poet named William Martin, titled "Make the Ordinary Come Alive." Do not ask your children to strive for extraordinary lives. Such striving may seem admirable, but it is a way of foolishness. Help them instead to find the wonder and the marvel of an ordinary life. Show them the joy of tasting tomatoes, apples, and pears. Show them how to cry when pets and people die. Show them the infinite pleasure in the touch of a hand. And make the ordinary come alive for them. The extraordinary will take care of itself. Now, while this poem speaks to the parents of children in particular, I believe it speaks to all of us, especially during this time. So my prayer is that we will make the ordinary come alive for ourselves and for others. Because ultimately, that's where God is. And that's where God is moving. Let us pray. Thank you, God, for the good world, for things great and small, beautiful and awesome, for seen and unseen splendors, the ordinary and the extraordinary. We thank you for human life, for talking and moving and thinking together, for common hopes and common hardships from birth until our dying, for work to do and strength to work, for the exchanges of good humor and encouragement, for family, for living together and eating together, for family amusements and family pleasures, for children, for their energy and curiosity, for their brave play and startling frankness, for their sudden sympathies, for the young, for their high hopes, for their irreverence toward worn-out values, for their search for freedom, and for their solemn vows, for growing up and growing old, for wisdom deepened by experience, for rest in leisure, and for time made precious by its passing. Thank you, God, for your help in times of doubt and sorrow, for healing our diseases, for preserving us in temptation and in danger, for the church into which we have been called, for the good news we receive by word and sacrament, for our life together in the Lord. We praise you, God, for your Holy Spirit who guides our steps and brings us gifts of faith and love, and who prays in us and prompts our grateful worship. And we praise you above all, O God, for your Son, Jesus Christ, who lived and died and lives again for our salvation. For our hope is in him. Amen. Thank you all so much for being here once again for this short time of reflection and prayer. It's always a pleasure for me to be here, and I'm so glad that you chose to spend this time with us. You are always welcome here at St. Andrew Presbyterian Church. Go in peace to love and serve the Lord. See you soon, everybody.